First at 4, snow stacking up in parts of southeast Michigan, and we've got another burst to go before the weekend is done. Find out how much we'll be shoveling by Sunday. Karen?
All right, thanks, Ben. Also, first at 4, preparing for protests from Lansing to Washington and state capitals around the country. What law enforcement is saying here in Michigan. Wayne County just named a new sheriff. We'll tell you who got the nod to replace Benny Napoleon. And here's Paula.
Well, it's deja vu all over again as school districts try to get into classrooms. These stories and more are happening right now on Local 4 First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. We are tracking this, the radar. It is a mess. Many of you have seen rain. Others have seen snow, and it's just been chilly out there and a messy mix on our roads. Let's get right to Ben Bailey, who says we could see a short break in the action, but not for long.
Yeah, Karen, good afternoon. By the time we get into the second half of the weekend, we're going to do this again. But at least for tonight, this may be the short-lived end of it. You can see that line now has moved north of M59, is going to continue to migrate to the north. Still seeing some snow showers through most of the north zone, but there are this east side there. You get out towards Lake Huron, that is mainly rain, and that's kind of the pattern that we have seen through most of the afternoon hours. So depending on where you're traveling this afternoon, road conditions are definitely snow covered for that 23 stretch across parts of Livingston and Washtenaw counties. 96 is also snow covered, and you got wet roads. Oddly enough, 69 more wet than snowy there in the north part of the area. So road temperatures are below freezing on the west side, and Metro's north and south zone, you're generally above freezing right now, but that is going to change as we get a little bit later on tonight. So let's take it through with precipitation. Once that area exits, that's it for tonight and most of Saturday as well. It looks like we really won't see accumulation return until Sunday. Temperatures relatively steady but cold, and we will talk about how much accumulation we're expecting for Sunday in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right. Thank you, Ben. Well, the 5 days between now and Inauguration Day are looking pretty tense. Following the attack on the U.S. Capitol and continued chatter about future protests, we are a nation on edge. Washington, D.C. now has the look of an armed camp. Up to 21,000 National Guard troops are expected by January 20th. Michigan's capital is also preparing with a huge fence around the perimeter. Devin Skillion in the newsroom. And Devin, we're living through something that's really unprecedented.
Karen, I've been covering presidential inaugurations for a long time. We've certainly never seen anything like this. The perceived threat has spread from the U.S. Capitol to state capitals around the country. Governor Whitmer has activated the National Guard here in Michigan. More from Lansing in just a moment. But first, the National Park Service has closed the National Mall in Washington through January 21st. Normally jam-packed on Inauguration Day with people enjoying the festivities. Right now, we're told there are rings of security surrounding the U.S. Capitol, and it's just about impossible to move around without getting stopped right now. Rehearsals for the inauguration ceremony have been postponed now until Monday due to security concerns. And today, federal prosecutors revealed that some members of that mob that invaded the Capitol last week aimed to, quote, capture and assassinate elected officials. Now let's move to our state capitol. Our cameras rolling as a 6-foot fence was erected around Michigan's Capitol building. State lawmakers have canceled their sessions Monday through Wednesday over security concerns. State police, Lansing police, and fire, National Guard, and the FBI all coordinating their efforts to try to keep things under control. They say there is online chatter about possible protests, though no specific threats, and they are not giving estimates of how many people might actually show up. But the main message, they hope that they're ready for anything.
The security enhancements that we have made are both seen, such as the increase in uniformed personnel and a perimeter fence that will be installed around the Capitol today, and unseen, which are things that we have no intention of discussing or disclosing because these efforts are meant to be covert.
For those that don't have an intentional purpose to be downtown in the city of Lansing, note that I encourage you to stay home.
In fact, that's the message in Washington, D.C. as well. Stay home, watch the inauguration on television or online. So, Karen, one more note. Sources say President Trump will leave Washington next Wednesday morning, hours before the inauguration. Traditionally, not really how it's done. Usually the outgoing and incoming presidents ride together from the White House to the Capitol, but we already knew President Trump does not plan to attend the inauguration. So our coverage will continue here, coming up on Local 4 News at 5. I'll see you then.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Well, there is a new sheriff in Wayne County. The decision came just a few hours ago. A committee of Wayne County leaders has selected former Deputy Chief Raphael Washington to take over for the late Benny Napoleon. We're told Washington has worked in law enforcement for nearly 40 years. He's worked in both the Wayne County Sheriff's Office and in the Detroit Police Department. In this Local 4 update, there are criminal charges in the shooting death of an 8-year-old boy in Canton. The boy's father, 33-year-old Nicholas Bennett, faced a judge this morning on a charge of involuntary manslaughter. The shooting happened on December 15th at a home on Old Michigan Avenue. Police tell us Bennett was working on a rifle when he shot his 8-year-old son, who was in the room with him. The boy was rushed to the hospital and didn't survive. Bennett is due back in court at the end of the month. City of Detroit just announced the first $30 million in demolition bid contracts under Proposal N. The proposal was passed by voters back in November. It aims to eradicate blight across the city. Nearly 1,400 properties are slated for demolition in the first round of bids. All 7 companies to win the bids are Detroit-based and have a 51% city resident workforce. The contracts will be submitted for approval to the City Council next week. Turning now to the coronavirus, where the global death toll has now topped 2 million. That's according to new data released by Johns Hopkins University. Here at home, the state of Michigan has announced more than 2,500 new cases in the past 24 hours, along with 29 more lives lost to the virus. Last night, President-elect Joe Biden unveiled a $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. Now, it would include $1,400 checks for most Americans and a temporary boost of unemployment benefits. At this hour, Biden is rolling out his plans to jumpstart America's vaccination program, which many have criticized for not going fast enough.
5 things to help us meet our goal of 100 million shots by the end of our first 100 days in office. Some wonder if we're reaching too far for that goal. Is it achievable? It's a legitimate question to ask. Let me be clear. I'm convinced we can get it done. And this is a time to set big goals, to pursue them with courage and conviction, because the health of the nation is literally at stake.
Biden says he will use federal resources to set up mobile vaccine clinics to vaccinate millions by the end of his first month in office. You can watch the president-elect's remarks on clickondetroit.com. Some are saying it is more complicated than advanced physics and calculus combined. Imagine that. School districts struggling to meet the governor's target request to return to face-to-face learning by March 1st. Paula Tutman has been taking the temperature of educators. And Paula, this conversation must feel like deja vu all over again.
Yeah, you know what, Karen, my partner Justin and I were actually reviewing some of our earlier coverage last March when these districts were talking about going remote or having to go remote, and they were planning about 8 to 10 weeks. Who knew that 10 months later, we'd be in almost the exact same spot? And as they're trying to get to this place, what they're really thinking about is that with the current climate right now, if today were tomorrow, the idea of going back would get an F for many districts. Teachers and volunteers canvassing the streets of Detroit looking for missing students. This is video we actually shot last year, but you could superimpose it onto today as once again the Detroit Public Schools Community District searches for students missing in action.
When you look at daily attendance before the pandemic hit, we see about a 10 to 15 percentage point decrease in daily attendance.
Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Viti, who held on to face-to-face learning options by splintering fingernails, is chomping at the bit to at least open learning centers and return to some semblance of face-to-face learning after having to shut down all face-to-face options last November. His hope is to bring children and teachers back ahead of the governor's target of March 1st.
Hopefully we'll continue to see a downward trend underneath 5% and stable, and that would allow us to return to in-person learning for those families that want it and teachers that want it by mid to late February. I think we also need to expand the grade span. So if an A was 100 to a 90, I think we need to go maybe to 100 to an 80. And then work our way down as far as letter grade.
The Southfield Public School District has been 100% remote since last March. And while recognizing the importance of bringing students back to their teachers, Superintendent Dr. Jennifer Martin Green says the science right now dictates the district remain remote.
There are still some building needs that we must address: air quality, airflow, the purifiers and the like. We've ordered a lot of materials and put mitigation measures in place. However, some things take a little longer.
Both districts believe actual vaccinations are part of the math to get students and teachers safely back into the classroom.
I've had a number of conversations with our county health department as well as the other 27 superintendents in the county. And to my understanding, as of yesterday, there were 80,000 educators on a wait list for the county. Those vaccines are not available.
Yeah, so the challenges are great, but also the need to get these kids back, also very important. The national calculus is that across the nation, students have lost about 9 months worth of learning, Karen. Think about this. They're only in school 10 months out of the year. So they've basically lost a full year.
Your heart breaks for the kids. It really does. All right. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead, here first at 4, a new head coach is breaking another barrier in the NFL. Many people hoped he'd be making history with the Detroit Lions. That is not going to happen now. And we're tracking a huge snowfall in a place that might surprise you. Plus, Ben returns with our weekend forecast. But first, military exercise is sending a message to the United States. News from 2 world's hotspots where President Trump's plans did not pay dividends. We'll be right back.